Welcome, Aquarius. This is your monthly reading for October 2022. So we'll start just by looking at the astrology very quickly, some of the main things that are happening in the sky and how it'll affect you. But then we'll turn to the cards and really get down to business. So we start with, I guess, we'll talk about October the 2nd. October the 2nd, Mercury will be going stationary direct. So where you really felt powerless or you really didn't feel like transformation could even happen in your life at this point. Maybe where you feel the fog kind of set in on you with transforming your life in whatever area you're trying to transform. We'll get to that as we walk through everything. And now the fog lifts. Now that it's going direct, you'll start to see exactly how you can go forward. And before you know it, you'll be looking at adventures and opportunities and learning experiences. You may be talking about this, you may be giving courses on this, you may be, but in some way you're using your voice, you're communicating your wants, your needs, your desires. When it comes to exploration, when it comes to, it could be traveling, but it could be through study, learning. It could be going somewhere. It could be in your mind and the dreamscape. On October the 9th, we have the full moon in Aries. Voice communication, once again, is highlighted here. So what are you saying now that you're done saying, or it doesn't fit you anymore, or it's a label that needs to go? What stories are you constantly bringing up over and over and over again? And those stories limit you. They stop you from actually going on those journeys that I was just talking about. They hold you back. They burden you in some way. They don't bring value to your life. So look at what you're talking about and how it's maybe holding you back from the very thing that you want to walk forward in. On the 25th, we will have the solar eclipse in Scorpio. Wow, what a place to have it, okay? Because, man, something very empowering, something very wonderful can happen in your career around this time. And it's not so much the job, it's the career. It's what defines you. It's moving up the ladder or really stepping into a career that you've wanted all this time. So the only thing I'm going to warn you about that is I'll skip a little bit ahead for you guys is on October the 30th, Mars will go stationary retrograde. And you know what? That's your creativity, that's your giggles, that's your laughter. So over the next several months, you might get very serious. You might get very, you're not very creative, no matter how much you push yourself or try and cut. So if you're offered that book deal, say, well, you can't start till maybe February or something, because you're going to have a little bit of a downtime to really realign yourself with where you want to go and what you really want to do, how you want to put yourself out there in the world, how you want to create joy and happiness in your life. When it all comes down to it, how does that happen for you? So you'll be looking at that, and that might define exactly where you need to step professionally. So if you're offered opportunities, don't say no. Please don't just say no. Look at it, but just don't say yes either. See if you can barter a little bit, especially if you need to use your creativity, or you really want to sit back and think, will this bring me joy? Will this bring me happiness? Or is it another path altogether? Because that's kind of the ball's in your court for that right now through this month. So it's best to really think about that, journal about it, pray about it, meditate about it. Jupiter will be moving right now it's in your voice, right? So you're already utilizing your voice in some way, and it's growing stronger, your voice of what you really want, of what you want to bring into your world, of what you are professing. But it will be moving back to your money center. So this is a time when you can grow your money. Okay, maybe it's through investments, maybe it's through a side job of some sort, creating it from an external avenue that you didn't have before. And it could even, that Mars retrograde could even affect your love life, okay? I'm thinking maybe if there is somebody in your past that you reunite with, that might be a relationship that you would possibly re-enter at this point in time in your life. So know what you want out of love before you actually go into any kind of relationship. Okay, please. So there are promotions or business opportunities, absolutely. That is part of this. Relationships, well, take a little bit of a step back on the relationships. Because it's about understanding what you truly want in the relationship and what you don't want. Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say for us. And we'll turn the deck over and look at that. Our shadow card. Worry, worry, worry. Okay? Stop sweating the small stuff, okay? Don't be turning those little molehills into mountains. Don't overthink things. Don't get stressed out and worried about these things. You're being asked to look at them for good reason, to be in a place that you can step forward into your best life ever. So we'll keep this one over here for meditation. Oh, and look at this. The Eight of Pentacles is underneath that. It was giving that card energy. So it's about raising the bar on yourself. You're wondering if you can really do it. You're wondering if you've got what it takes. So you do, because it's this card. But you're looking at what you've already done in life. You're worried that now that you're taking the step, will you be able to continue to do those things? And I do believe it's a yes, because remember we were talking about journeys, and that might be your journey, is educating yourself over the next several months so that you can actually go to where you've raised that bar. Okay, our first card out is the Judgment card. So if you haven't been giving a lot of energy and a lot of work, this is the time to start, so that when we get this kind of energy again, it's good. But we are being judged. We're being judged for our focus, for our attention, for when we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. So if you thought that you did a bunch of work and it was all for nothing, it was not, because Judgment card is here to say you will be rewarded. Maybe not the way you wanted the reward, but you will be rewarded, and you will love the reward that does come. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, decisions that need to be made. You know what? You can go out and search for the truth. Okay, you might ask friends, you might ask a colleague, you may even go to a specialist or somebody that's really known in that field in order for you to make that decision and listen to their advice. But at the end of the day, you have to look inside. What you find inside is the right answer, is the right decision. So you can ask other people's opinion, but at the end of the day, you need to look inside. You need to say, does this make me feel content? Does this make me feel happy? Does this make me feel worthy? Does this make me feel deserving? And whatever this decision is that you are making, it has a lot of emotion attached to it. So maybe that's where the worry comes in, because we don't want to hurt certain people, or we don't want to offend certain people. So there's a lot of emotion here, and it's going to take courage. It's going to take passion in order to make that decision truthfully so that you can go forward in the way you want. Now we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is here to say, we're going forward. I have dreams, I have desires, I have wants, and I have talent. And I am going to nurture those dreams. I'm going to love those dreams. I'm going to raise those dreams up to the highest standard, and I'm going to go after them, and I'm going to protect those dreams. Nobody's going to come along and try and squash my dream. It's my dream. It's my vision, and I'm doing it. And if you look at the way you lean on that sword, the way you lean on that sword with that intent look, it says, I'll use it if I have to. So please get out of my way and let me do what I need to do in order to make my life the best life possible. Now let's look at work, career, money. 8 of Swords, you're not the only one. I think there's 3 signs have gotten this card in this placement, okay? And this is your perception. So maybe you thought you didn't have what it takes to go after whatever professional professional endeavors you want when it comes to your work situation. Okay? Where you can be empowered, where you can stand strong, where you can be the leader, where you can be the inventor, where you can be the creator. You may have thought that you didn't have what it takes, and you come to realize, you gain the wisdom to understand that you had it all along. Maybe you didn't see it in yourself. Maybe other people are telling you this, and now you're starting to become aware of it. Maybe you've always been aware of it, but nobody has ever thanked you for it, and now it's time that you stand up and say, hey, I'm the only one who can do this. So do you want to try and do it without me? Do you really? So when it comes to going forward in your work plans, in your professional plans, in what you really want to do, take the blindfold off. Really take a look around and see what's available to you, what you can tap into. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a resource, maybe it's an environment. But something, you will see something that can motivate you to move into that next level of success for yourself. Absolutely. For love, relationships, you're holding on too tightly to something here. So maybe it's that ex-lover that you wanted to reunite with, okay? Maybe you just need to let them go and look for something new and exciting and different from that past relationship. That could be. Having a faith that the right person will come into your life, that you don't have to go back and hit repeat necessarily. So it's about taking the time to understand where you need to let go, who perhaps you need to let go of. Maybe it's your thoughts. Maybe you've always wanted somebody who will be this way in your life and you're not finding that. You have to have a faith that it will come to you eventually. Okay? Divine timing is everything. And once you know, that's when the excitement can happen in your life. Spirituality, strength and courage. Okay, it's almost about having that faith again, okay? It's about believing that you can take a risk on yourself. It's believing that you are protected. It's believing that there is such a thing as God, angels, spirit guides, putting your path into place for you. That they're building it while we sit here and speak. And it takes a strength and it takes a courage. And if you want to go forward, you have to keep your integrity intact. So no whitewashing the story to make it sound a little bit better. You say it truthfully, they'll still get on board. Trust me, okay? I mean, your words are very powerful. So you can utilize that to your best advantage. But you have a strength right now. You have a courage to do the things you need to do, to say the things you need to say. So you have to have a spiritual awareness that you're doing it for the greater good of, yes, your own personal path, but personal good of others, the collective, absolutely. You have to believe that you have support and you have love, even if you are completely alone, so to speak, in this world. That God, your angels, your spirit guides are there. So talk to them. Tell them what you need. Tell them that you need to bring your courage forth or your strength forward, and they'll help you do just that. Health and well-being. Oh, look at this. Okay, so the more you believe in yourself, the more you know that you can do what you want to do, that you're hoping to do, that you're dreaming to do. And I'm really thinking this is in the professional realm of your existence. You know, you've got the cup in your hand, and you can fill it any which way you want. So, how are you going to fill that cup? With what? What actions? What deeds? What words? What events? And knowing that you are deserving, knowing that you are worthy. That's when you feel strong, alive. You're breathing deeply. You're feeling free. There's a smile on your face. But when you start doubting yourself, when you start to lose faith, when you start to twist the truth, perhaps, or when you don't rely on your own wisdom, that's when that cold takes a hold of you, or something worse. That's when you're not feeling good at all. That's when you allow the frustration to take over, the worry to take over, instead of using your own words. It's your subconscious, it's your thoughts. So start writing the script for what you want to see playing in your mind, not what your mind will show you. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of room here for promotions or some kind of honor or stature, awards perhaps. Maybe it's a business opportunity. Romance will be a difficult road for you. I truly believe that. It's more about backing it up a little bit and thinking about who you truly want, what you truly want when it comes to a relationship. And that could be a spouse, that could be a lover, that could be a best friend, that could be a coworker, that could be a neighbor. But people that you love in your life or want to invite in to love. Okay, I've been using the Rose Oracle. I do like the stack. It's very gorgeous. But it's very pale. So I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if I can really... I think it's almost a deck that I could use more successfully in a personal reading, that the person is sitting there. They can hold on to the card. They can look into it as I talk about it. Okay, so I am elevating it a little bit, but I'll show you what I mean here. Now, what do you got? Come to me. Look at that. So you don't really get all that much more detail when I do hold it up. We can see the hummingbird a lot better. The hummingbirds. Look at that. Attracting to me. Can you really see them down there? Well, maybe now it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's a little bee there, too. Attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. And you are attracting. You are attracting goods. So it's amazing how this deck has been on point with every single reading up till now. It's just amazing. So we will go to Come to Me. And I've learned that I've got to read from the book. Soul Inquiry. Oh my gosh, I think I just did this for somebody. What do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive, and how can you attract like a flower? So have you ever noticed how in summer, when the roses are at their fullest and the scent is hanging in the air, the bees, the butterflies, the other pollinators suddenly appear? Pollinators happen when pollen from one plant mixes with the pollen of another, or it's transferred from one stigma of the flower to a stigma of another. Roses don't go running all over the place, reaching and grabbing. Rather, they rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bee, never grasping, never overstretching. It embraces it fully and allows life to come to it, and it receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens, it blooms regardless. The card is about receiving abundance, rose style. It's an invitation to receive the sweetness of your life, to embrace the magnificence of who you are, and also to open yourself up to the possibility of receiving what you yearn for deeply. To be clear on what you desire, to trust that it was all meant for you and it wants to come to you. To state your desires out loud and let your yearnings be known. To ask for what you desire. Don't reach, don't grasp, don't strive, don't control, don't manipulate. That will leave you exhausted, parched, brittle. This card delivers the message that true, sustainable abundance is coming. Connect with your sensual, true nature. Be unashamed of what you desire, and when it comes, relish each moment. So I ask you again, what do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive? And how can you attract like a flower? Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.